If it can happen, it'll happen on a live. Just had a sneezing fit right there. So, yeah, if you've ever thought about going live, you know what? You got to be able to roll with the punches. And you know what? That's just life. Life is like going live for real. You just got to roll with it. So, in today's live stream, we are going to go back into the past because I found the thing that has all of my old projects. And some of them were supposed to be given away and they were supposed to be shipped out, and events happened and they never were. And so if you are still watching this channel and you were supposed to get something, please let me know. My email address, my current email address, is in the about section on my actual YouTube page. I can't remember. I think it is contact@theartisthaven.org, but I can't remember. I know, it's not remembering your email is like not remembering your phone number back in the day. So this is what we were working on yesterday. We glued this guy down. So let's see. I haven't moved it. I let it sit like literally overnight. After the live stream yesterday, I shut down everything in here and went downstairs and worked on some other projects that my computer needed my attention for, and some other projects like that. So let's see. Well, he's definitely a happy camper. He's standing there like a tin soldier. There we go. That needs to be flattened down a little bit, but it is glued there. It is not coming up. So I think we're a little too happy. You know what we're going to use? So trying to use my hands. Let go, please. Come on. Thank you. Just going to hit this with the brayer. There we go. There we go. Now, oh, that'll be perfect. And then we need to finish the other sections. So yeah, this is looking really cool. I like how this feels. I like how it looks. The thing I like about it is, and I'm gonna, when we get all done, I've got some little safety pins and we can safety pin things to the front cover. I think that'll be fun. Just safety pin little tags or whatever. So that part's done with that one. Let's put that to the side. Thump. And let's bring out this guy. Oh, he's supposed to stay up there. This guy gets to get glued. There we go. See, I'm grateful I put that parchment paper down. Come on. There we go. So, and the spacer, we need to make another 1/4 inch spacer because, okay, this guy didn't get glued down, but that's okay. We can go in there with some art glitter glue and a piece of parchment. So let's do that real quick. Let's give this a shake and take that pin out. And because I know it's going to need it, we're going to grab another pin and we're going to try and clean this out a little bit. No. Do I have both my lights on? It just seems really dark in here today. Maybe because it's cloudy outside. And I don't... I'm sitting in front of a window, but I have both blinds and curtains over them. So I only get like a top band of light, like right across the top of the window. And it just helps me so I can have the most accurate color. Because we replaced the light bulbs in the studio with 5,000 Kelvin light bulbs, LED light bulbs. So the color in here is just amazing now. I'm so grateful for that. All right, we're going to put this down like that. There we go. Clean that up a bit. Oop, got it on my arm. Fold that up so it doesn't gloop all over the place. Put that there and put our 1/4 inch spacer in there. And then the other thing we need to do is fold this back. I'm going to hit that with the glue eraser real quick. If I can find it. There it is. It got buried. There we go. I haven't done one of these tab bindings or pocket bindings, I don't know what you call them, in a long time. So I might need to refold this one so it lines up better. I don't know. We'll address that issue when we come to it. But for now, we're just going to leave that up. Okay, so we have this here. And then this goes here. And then we have this here. There we go. Got most of it. And then this folds here. And we have this one. And then these two. All right, what can we use to help us make a 1/4 inch binder, a 1/4 inch spacer really fast? So we have these ends of the pizza box. And I don't want to use that because that's pretty cool. What else we got? That one's pretty cool too. Hang on. Here we go. Here's another end. So we can take this scissors. Okay. Put these in here. And actually, we're going to take our scoreboard real quick. Let's move this guy out of the way. And then so this is at 3/4. Or thereabouts. So 1/4 inch would be 1/4. No, that's a 1/2 inch. 1/4 over here. Okay, so fold that up. Fold that up. There we go. And then these to go in there. And put that in there. Yeah, we'll just cut this tab off. Cut this down. Okay. Alright, so now we have just like a little, let's make this a little bit better of a score. There we go. Okay, so now we have a 1/4 inch spacer here. We're going to do this. Actually, let's use the barely art glue. What am I making? I'm trying to see what, Christy. Hello, Christy. We are revisiting a bunch of different projects that I've worked on, so like the last 5 years, and I've kind of abandoned them. But this is a project where I'm doing tab binding of sorts. I can't think of the exact phrase, but you use basically it's like an accordion binding, maybe is maybe what it's called. I don't know, but we're folding these to be our binding for our journal. These are just the envelope parts, so it'll have a gap and then it'll stay in there, and I'll show you here in a moment what it looks like. But I'm making a spacer so all of our, we can keep that 1/4 inch gap that we have between our pages. I'm gonna cut that down. So between the pages, oh Lord have mercy, we can have a 1/4 inch gap, and that gives us a little bit of extra space because it does, we are using, why does that can go in the garbage. That doesn't have a point on it. What's the point of a needle without a point? So there's a space between them so you can put more stuff in it. It's basically what we're going for. Okay, this, why do these needle tips always do this to me? Do you have the same problem? Needle tips just don't like me. I thought it was just me, but maybe I'm not alone. So I go live. I've been going live almost every day for the last 3 months. Over 3 months. Well, yeah, 3 months. But starting October 1st or 2nd, we're going to drop that down a little bit because I've got other fish to fry. So maybe this pin is just too big to fit in there. I don't know, but it's not coming out. Now it is. There we go. So I'm just gonna I've been neglecting my other artistry duties, like my classes and stuff. So I need to get back on the ball with that. And I'm also starting a candy business, making hard candies and stuff. No chocolate, because I don't have the temperament to temper chocolate. So what do you do in your off time? Yeah, projects half done, yeah. I always, you know what's funny is the PhD, that's cute because it makes me think of my RIC, R-I-C. I'm not a hoarder. I have an RIC. I have a RIC. And that's a random inclusion collection. Just random bits of this and that. So we have cute little names for our little idiosyncrasies. Okay, this doesn't want to come out in a straight line. It just wants to drip. All right, here we go. PhD. I got to remember that one. I'm going to visit my PhD file. Makes me feel smarter. All right. We're just kind of gluing this together so it doesn't come all crashing down on us. And it's scrap, so I'm not using my favorite glue. I love art glitter glue. I like the Barely Art glue. How's that? They both work. It's just Barely Art glue takes a little bit longer to dry, which is kind of what I want because I want to be able to shift these around. So I already have one spacer, and I use these spacers when I'm building books too, like to have between the front page and the back page of the journal, or not back page, back cover and front cover. You want to have that little space. So I will use this again. That's why I'm bothering to glue this in. And it's nice and firm. So we're going to put a little glue down the spine-ish area because there's this little spine here. And that should do it. And then we can put this in our space, and then we can get the other part glued. You know what? While we're getting that ready, let's do this just to help it hold for a moment. And I think, now that I look at this, I think that pin was just too big and I was just being silly. So use a sweet petunia glue gun. I've seen those and I've seen mixed reviews on them. I think it has to do with like what environment you're in. If you're in a high heat, high humid environment, it seemed that they didn't work as well if you were in like a low humid area. My humidity fluctuates up here anywhere from 40 to 60. So I don't know what constitutes high humidity in the normal room, but anything over 40 for me, being a candy maker, is too high. So, all right, so we're gonna put that spacer right here, and we're gonna put this. So let me see if my camera will pick this up. I turned on the autofocus again, so because I was noticing that it wasn't focusing when I would bring it up, it wasn't focusing. So we've got these grooves and valleys. This, let me illustrate with the back. So this is going to go flat against our spine, this piece right here, this narrow band, and then this will be like glued to that. Okay, and then you open it up, and there is your insides. And then the next one, we have the spacer, and that's going to glue against the spine. The back side of this spacer is going to glue against the spine. So there's another point of contact and some space for us to fill up our stuff. And then the other side glues down this one. And then we're back to this goes down, and then this space will go against our spine. And then this will go up. It sounds really complicated, but it's not. It's just a matter of figuring out the way you want to do things, but always leave a little bit of a space. Always, always. I learned that the hard way. I actually had to tear apart a journal because it would not fold right. So we put the spacer in here, and then we're going to glue down this one, clamp it down, and let it sit for the night. So, or the rest of the day, depending on if I get a chance to get back up here or not. Excuse me, I think I might have to sneeze. Oh, crazy allergies. Let me see if I can find a piece of parchment in this disaster area I call a desk. Aha, I did. Excuse me. Oh, you do nails. You're in Idaho? One of my best friends for like the last 35 years lives in Boise, Idaho. If I remember correctly. I think he still lives there. We dated once upon a time ago for a fairly long time. I have never been to Idaho. I've flown over it a couple of times. It's always been one of the places I want to go to. I just haven't gotten there yet. I bought an RV in 2023 and I was going to travel the United States. That didn't happen. Life threw me a bunch of limes. So now I'm making margaritas because life's too short. We're here for, if we're lucky, we're here for 100 years. And in the whole scheme of things, 100 years is a flash in the pan. Okay, so let's get, there it is. In meridian. Is that how you say that? Meridian? I apologize if I pronounced it incorrectly. Okay, so we're going to put the spacer in here, like so. And we'll hold that down. And then we're going to put this like this. And this is an option for people that don't want to stitch in their bindings. You don't have to. What I'm trying to do here is fold it a little bit, but it's not really folding the way I want. So it's all right. Put this in here, and then what I'm going to do, just until I get this put in place, we're going to push that down. I need that. And then I'm going to take one of my big clamps, because this is too big for my little clamps. I'm just going to use that to hold it in place. Oop. I need to be below the fold line. Hopefully that'll hold it. There we go. And then we're going to take, actually, that's not going to work there. I take it back. There we go. We'll give this a good push. And we'll move it up a little bit. So that way we have that. And then we're going to do this. There we go. That'll hold it. I'm going to grab my other clamp too while I'm at it. All right. Cool, I pronounced it right. Look at me go. So I'm going to put this in this way. Yes. Okay. So for this part, we're going to use this glue, which is the PVA neutral, pH neutral PVA. And I'm going to give it a good shake. And while I shake it up, I am going to take a sip of coffee. And I'm going to mute my microphone so you don't have to listen to the clink, clink, clink of my ice in my cup. Thanks for stopping in, Christy. Have a great day. Too bad you didn't live closer, because my nails need some love, and I have yet to find someone that does them the way I want them. They're like, too short, too short. I'm like, no, I want them short. I need to be able to put my contacts in and not poke my eye out. Okay, this should be good and shooken up. Shooken up. All the shook up. My really bad Elvis impersonation. All right, we're going to run some glue down this. There we go. And then just for a moment, hopefully we can keep this together. My hand will cooperate. That has been the challenge of the last few days. Let's fold this down and slide this in. There we go. Okay, now I want to take piece of parchment here. And we're going to slide it in about where that line's at. So hopefully if we have any seepage, it'll just figure itself out. And then we're going to take one of these and one of these. Come on, there we go. There was a purpose to having them on my desk. It's funny because my brain goes one way when I get up here, and then I get distracted, and then I go 15 other directions. And then we're going to take this and this. There we go. Home Depot saved my butt again. All right. We're going to let this sit for a while. I'm getting glue all over because it's seeping out the edges here, which is fine. And then when we get done, actually I'm going to put one in the middle too. I've got like 6 of these, and they work really great. There we go. And then when we get all done, then we take and we glue it all down to our spine of our book. So that needs to sit for a while because the PVA glue takes anywhere from 2 to 24 hours to set up. It depends on how humid, how hot, and right now I think I'm at 47% humidity and 78 degrees, which is perfect for me, but not so much for art projects sometimes. Okay, I've got the sneezes today. It's all right. Just keep moving forward. Never straight, always forward. Okay. Now we get to work on our second project that we have going, and that would be the big storage binder thing that we got going on here. So this is going to be our front cover. This comes down, and I gotta pull this back a little bit. That's all right. So this is going to come over the top like this. Oop. So this will come over the top, and I might put it. I have some drawer pulls. I thought that'd be kind of fun. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to put that down over here by me. And then we're going to take this piece off. Maybe. There we go. Oh, it's still a little sticky, which is fine. We can work with it. And then, so our next step is to glue down the other side. We got too many glues going on. Let's get some of this stuff put away. Come on, go in there. We need to move this stuff over here. This goes back. I need to fix that because that guy decided he wasn't going to work anymore. Kind of like my ex-husband. Long story. We don't need to go there. All right. Tidy, tidy. Where did that pin for that go? It should be right here. But it's not. It's all right. We'll make it work. Okay. Our glitter glue thing. These need to go on the bottom. Excuse me while I tidy up a bit. But this project is really big. And even though my desk is fairly large, it is a kitchen table after all. Okay, you need to go in there. It still gets full of stuff, and I don't tidy it up nearly as much as I should. You should see the big table behind me. That is a hot disaster. Looks like a tornado came through. Okay, this needs to go in that bin. But you know what's nice is everything is within my reach for the most part. Sometimes I do have to go, you know, get stuff. I wish I knew what I did with my little holder that I have for those. This can go in there. These are washi tapes and they go in that bin. But and then, okay, a little quick hack. This is a lipstick holder, and I use it for my most popular daubers. So this side is ink, and then we have our oxides here. I know because I put electrical tape to color code them. And then on this end is like the ones, like this one has a little sanding disc on it, and this one is just, whoa, that has black ink on it. Just gonna make my finger all black. But I use like the paint and all like the oddball ones go on this end. There's that thing. I gotta put that back in my thing. But yeah, so, and then I put my daubers that I use for, these are cosmetic sponges, and I just stick them in there, and that way I can use them later. Here's a clean pad that I can just kind of keep in there too. So yeah, you have all your lipstick, all your ink daubers standing up in there. It works pretty good for me. I inherited the lipstick holder, I think, that I got on Amazon. I wanted to try it out and see if it would work, and it does. All right, so let's put all our clamps over here. There we go. Thank you for your patience while I tidied up. I'm gonna grab a drink. Okay, move my coffee to the other table, that way I don't spill it, because I'm good at that. All right, I'm gonna move this stuff up here. I'm constantly reorganizing my desk because I'm trying to find the best flow, and I have to make some room too, because once I add that other camera, I'm going to need my stream deck. I haven't used it in a long time because it's one of those things, you know, one less thing to get in my way. Now we're going to use all my clamps up here. All right, this goes back up there. There we go. Okay, fine, Paul, it's fine. Wow, that went together really quickly. Okay, so we're going to line this up. I'm actually going to grab my yardstick, and that'll help me keep things aligned. I have 3 yardsticks up here actually, because when I cut book bases, I line them all up on my big thing and then put 3 yardsticks down, and I can cut 3 at a time. So let's line this up with this line, and then we put this here and this here. So we're going to have that there, like that, and then we're going to use the same hardboard that we have on the bottom. We're going to use that to be our guide this way. There we go. We'll take that out, and we'll take our fine point Sharpie. and make a line. If you have a like one that erases with heat or something, the fabric markers, I think Stephanie has them at the Painted Raven. Not sure, don't quote me. I know they exist because I was just talking to her last week and she was saying, I don't know what kind of marker this is. I'm like, they have different markers. Anyway, flip this over. Tape can go back in the bin. And then we're going to put some glue down. Let's get our handy dandy silicone. This is why I love the silicone. Look at that. That's all the old glue that dried on there. Just peel it right off. And if you really feel inspired, you can spray it down with some rubbing alcohol and hit it with a rag. But I just use my finger to scrape off all the other little bits. I have more of these in storage, but I also have these in the kitchen because these work great, these little ones, for getting like sweetened condensed milk or evaporated milk or, you know, things that are kind of goopy like that out of the can. They also work really great for mayo. Like to do mayo on your sandwiches. You just scoop it in your mayo, done. It's like faster than Subway. Okay, so leave that there. We're going to put a line of glue on the board because we want it to soak into the fabric but not through the fabric. So we're going to do a layer here just like that. And we're going to take there we go. And we're going to take this edge and we're going to scrape off whatever dripped over and put it on this side. There we go. Same up there. That just helps us keep it a little bit neater. There we go. We'll put that over to the side so it can dry. And then we're going to flip this back over. Oop. Move that out of the way. And this needs to come down a little bit. Line it back up with that black line. There's my towel. I'm going to spray a little bit of rubbing alcohol on there if I can reach my alcohol bottle. There we go. There we go. And now take a piece of parchment. I'm just going to, my ruler go, rip this in half. And we're going to stick it in here. First, let's take our, where'd it go? Did I put it away? Yes, I did. Look at me trying to be all organized. And take this and this, squish that down. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to move all our rulers out of the way. Oh, I need to take this one down with me when I go back downstairs. So I'm going to put that right where I'll remember it. And then I'll lift this up. There we go. Okay. I just love this fabric. I made pillows out of this fabric. I have 2 of them. I'll probably make 2 more because I love it so much. Make big floor pillows. In fact, I think that's what I'll do tonight, is sew up the pillows that I made so I can be done with. I made 4, And now I will need to make about 15 more. I just want tons of pillows everywhere so everything is comfy. Okay, and then we're going to take another piece of parchment. And we're going to rip it in half again. So about like that. But yay big. Oops. Alright. Let's come at you from the other end. There we go. Put that down. And that down. And then we're going to take these clips. I wonder if I should use... let's get this tape off of here. That heat tape is great, it's just too narrow. I think 2 is good enough. Okay, so I'll put this down. And so I use heat tape on these to hold the resin pieces while I'm embossing them. And I got some heat tape and it'll work great for like doing like lettering and stuff like that. But I need some wider stuff. In fact, I should put that on my Amazon order before I forget. All right, this will help hold it down while it dries. Excuse me. There we go. Now we've got 2 projects going that need to just kind of sit and chill. So we're going to fold this back like that, and then fold that back like that. And we're going to move this over here on this chair. That's my sewing chair, so I'm going to have to move it again. But I need to move this stuff so I can actually get through. Excuse me. There we go. And what did I come over here for? I don't remember now. Oh, yeah. So I have these big bins, these big bags that I want to free up. So let's go through and see what we find and what we can do. I have that and that. But wait, there's more. Let's move this over. So, I don't know if you're like me, but I get stuck on a project like, I want to do this, but I want to do that. I'm going to stick it aside until I can figure it out. This one I already know we're going to work on next month, because that was from like 2023. It was a challenge from Rafi and Klee, and I was having issues with my relationship. So we're going to pull some of this stuff out. We're going to see where we're at. And I'm going to use these bags. And we're going to go from there. Oh my gosh, I know what these are. These are all just different things I've been working on and just need finishing touches on them. So, but they can be used inside of each other. All right, let's see where we're at. We got loads of stuff, guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. We've got chaos. Welcome to my world. Okay, so we got 3 bags. So these are little journals that you make from envelopes. And these, I wonder if I have one that's done. But these are all, they were painted, and so the paint got sticky. Which is fine, because we can come in and they're just sticky. But if they stay sticky, which they shouldn't anymore. And once you peel them apart, but look at these envelopes. Aren't they cool? I mean, they even have a little bit of glitter on them. That was probably unintentional. I did these on the jelly plate. So we've got all kinds of fun stuff here. Look, I have like even ones that are just like ready to go. So look at all this stuff. So we'll do these in a live. Okay. I'm going to put them in a manila envelope. So we're going to put these in here. And I'm going to put them right behind me. So actually I'm going to put them right beside me. So that way we can work on them one night or one day. Okay, this is a little notebook. All it needs to have done to it is stitched in. Okay. I'm going to put a paper clip on that so we don't lose the pages. Probably round the corners and just do, maybe even just staple them in. This is wallpaper that I collaged on, and it'll be a little notebook. So round some corners, put a little, like just a little two-stitcher in there. Yeah, maybe even do it inside out and do some beads on the side. Yeah. My hand won't do it today, so we're going to put that in a pile. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's see what this is. Let's see what this is. I'm so excited. It's like Christmas. Oh, this is a panel. They're canvas panels that I got from Dollar Tree, and I covered it in some stuff that I did, some art tissue paper, I think. It was either tissue paper or rice paper. That's what it feels like. Put the washi tape in there, but see, it was starting to break. So I stopped because I was getting frustrated with it. Because no matter what I did, it just kept breaking. So what we might do is just cut this apart. Or maybe this might be just cardboard instead of that hardboard, instead of that canvas board. We'll cut it apart and we'll do a tab binding. Like, you know, well, maybe we'll even use this blue ribbon since I have it so nicely tucked aside. Maybe we'll stitch these two because there's some art pages in here, and then there's some journaling pages, like line pages. Okay. Got some stuff in here. This is cool. Okay, so another project that just needs to be stitched together. I don't know what that is, but we're going to fix that. You know, I didn't have all these fancy punches. I think I had a circle punch and a corner rounder. And I just wanted to do something different than a circle, because I never liked the circle punches when you do the little divot in there, so so it indicates that. I never liked the circle punches, and it's just a design preference. It's nothing against anybody or anything. I like the oval. So I got this at Austin Art Reuse Center. I think I paid like $3 for it, and it is a Stampin' Up one, I think. I don't know, I'm trying to see. Yep, it's a Stampin' Up one, so it's heavy duty. Like, I could chuck that at someone and it would hurt. Okay, so let's do this back side too. So if you want to see how far you've come in the realm of your art, just go back to your unfinished projects. Or as Christy so fondly called it, her PhD. She went back to her PhD. Okay, this one just needs a couple of signatures. It already has the template in there for the holes. So this one goes in a different pile. And we're going to finish all these up this week. Okay, so this one, oh, I remember this one. This one I got inspired by Miss Eva over at Bohemian Crafting. And I am like a huge jelly plate fan. I love playing on the jelly plate. I haven't done it in a long time. So this one needs to have some acetate put in it, stitched down, because, let me see if I can move this without spilling everything else. I want to show you. This is, I've been watching Eva probably for 6 or 7 years, not gonna lie, because I just love her, and I love her little personality, her big personality and her little body. She's just this little waif of a woman, and I love her to death. Okay, so this was the front cover and the back cover. And then, so this goes here, and this goes here. And then you've got these pages. Do I have something I can use to show you? Because they're kind of blending in. So there's these pages that have the hole popped out of them. This one I cut a square. And see, they're all sticky because they've been in storage. So there's a square. And then another circle. And then one that's just solid. And then another little square. And then, was ist das? A little rectangle one. And a circle one. And then that goes on that back cover. So this has to have kind of a signature made for it. So we're going to put this in the signature and finish. See, I even had the foresight to write top front. There we go. See? This is from probably 2021, 2022, somewhere in there. Yeah, old. What do we got here? Oh, this is art paper, the handmade art paper that I got on Amazon. So this just needs to be bound in and the string put on for the closure. So we'll put that in this pile. So we've just got a lot of stitching to do, a lot of binding to do. All right, and this, I love this one. And we're gonna add more to this signature, but this is so steampunk, it's silly. Do you see this? This is made, if I remember correctly, this is made with pieces of cardboard, like chipboard, thicker chipboard. Think 2 or 3 layers of a cereal box. So it looks like, and then I painted it with metallic, and then went over it with black. And then, so it has like paintbrush strokes on it, but it looks like it was like, I tried to make it so it looked like it was like finished that way. Cause you know, sheet metal kind of has that feel to it. And yeah, so yeah. And then these are pages. There's 2 signatures in here, but only one set of holes. I don't know what I was thinking. So we're gonna put these together, but we're going to put some more book pages in here. And yeah, but yeah. So we need to come up with a better signature for this. And I say better, I should say more enhanced signature. Because now I've got this automotive book that I've torn apart. And I've got some other kind of more steampunky things. Yeah. Then maybe we should put a big flower right in the middle of it just to help. Okay, so here is, I think this was a cereal a box at one time. And I tend to leave my boxes, the spine just be that way, and then I'll put something to reinforce it. So more papers from me playing around on my jelly plate. So this one needs signatures. What else do we got here? These are some of my digitals that are free on Ko-Fi. Oh, and this is just a little book. Look at that. I made a little book out of my own, just different pages. And this is already ready to go. I just need to trim it up a little bit, I think. Yeah. It's got 3 signatures. Oh, because I used art pages. But we'll put some envelopes in here. So this one is done, but just needs some love. So we're going to put that in a separate pile. And then these are digitals from my Ko-Fi page. This is like 2023. It's fun to look back at these because this was the kickoff to the challenge of the 2-year challenge. I say that because from 2023 until basically the beginning of this year, I have had a lot of challenges with my mental health, and just because a lot of, well, I'm going to be frank, and I apologize for swearing in advance, but shit hit the fan way too many times in a short period of time. And I suffered a lot of loss, and a lot of changes happened, and that's why I'm not on the road, and I'm content to just stay where I'm at right now. Life gets in the way of living sometimes. So these are the art boards. These are the art panels from Dollar Tree. Let me show you. I know exactly where they're at. They're over here. And anytime I see them, and I've got some artisan ones too, or Arteza. Anytime I see these in the bigger sizes, like this one I don't like. It's too, I mean, I'll make a book out of it, but it's not my favorite. This is the 8x8. And these are the 10x10s. I like the 10x10s. I like big books, and I cannot lie. Sorry. And you just cover them with paper, or you paint them, or whatever, and then you put a spine on them, and there you go. You have a cover made. So, yeah, these are 2 5x7 ones. I thought those would be cute for like a little photo book. And I would use my paint scraps and I'd pour on them, because then you can take this and peel it off and use it as something in a journal or on another art form, on another art piece. Here's one that's peeled off already. So it's got really cool texture and color. You can actually cut these with a silhouette, and you can punch them with a, not standard issue, but the big ones. So yeah, this is 10x10. This is I think these are the Arteza ones. I got these at a thrift store. I inherited them. I don't remember. But I have them, and I need to make more books like this. And you can do it easily with fabric or more paper. I personally like fabric. Use up some of if you're a quilter, or you like sewing your own clothes because you're tall like me and can't find clothing. So this one needs to be completely reconstructed. So we're going to put that in our reconstruction pile. Look at this. We got all these projects that we can work on and finish up. This is my goal, is to finish all these up by the end of the year. So if we don't get them done this week, I think this is what we'll be working on for the rest of the year. Now this one is almost done right here. Yeah, this one just needs some inside pages. I don't know what I used for glue on this, but holy Hannah banana. Let's see if we can. I love glue, apparently. Okay, so there's no spine in here other than the glue. This is a canvas that I actually tore apart and put it on cardboard. I don't know what made me think that. And then this is just some Tyvek I glued down, and then I put some canvas to kind of blend it in. I think we're going to need to cover this with some ink. So if I remember correctly, this was the front. So we need to come up with some signatures for this guy. So we're going to leave that over there. And then this is my altered book project that I was doing for my ex. And I never finished it. I wanted to make him eat it. That wasn't very kind, but very true. So this is something I may wait a moment on because I still feel a little venom at this particular time today. Maybe on a day where I am not feeling so venomous would be a good time to try and tackle that. Now this is a resin on a base. It needs to be sanded down, but I thought, what if we did a big journal, like the big journal that we have? Maybe we will use this on that journal that we have going right now. And we'll put stencils right here. And then have this on the front. Maybe as part of the closure. I don't know. We'll see. We'll take it out tomorrow and we'll see. Okay. I have these two boards. You know what? These would be really cool if we had some cool fabric. So these will be elements. I'm going to put these in the elements bin, which I don't have handy. So we're going to stick it right in between these two with the other elements that I've come across in the last couple days. Let's see, what's this? Again, another painting. And I was going to go for like a really true like book feel, but I got glue and I got frustrated because the glue was showing, and so I stuck it away. And here are some of my first coffee dyed papers. And then some inked papers, because I like doing this kind of stuff. I thought this would be cool for pockets, I'm sure. And then this has Tyvek on it. This is the bottom half of a Tyvek envelope. I don't know why it's sticky on the inside. Interesting. Oh, maybe I was going to do, yeah, make this like a pocket. Okay, okay, I see where things are going. Sometimes I never know what I'm going to do. Oh, and then I was going to have this be a flip out pocket thing. So this is a pocket, and this is a pocket. Okay, okay, I see where I'm going here. But this is definitely not enough pages for this book. So we're going to have to come up with signatures and finish this book off, because this is a really cool book. And you know what? Once we punch in the signature, once we punch in our holes here, we can come back with some ink. And I wonder if my ink eraser would work on that, or my glue eraser. Where did he go? Here he is. This is pre-glue eraser days. So anytime I had extra glue somewhere, I'd just like get really sad. I'm gonna put it in a pile. It's not coming off, but that's probably because it's been sitting for like 5 years. But that's an old acrylic pour that I didn't like a part of it, and I have more of these. If you want some to try out with, you let me know, because I will send you one. For sure, for sure. And then I have these book corners. We can put the book corners on. Oh, yes. Okay. See? And then these are a different project altogether. These are picture frames that I poured on. They're really cool. They need to be resined and sealed, so we need to put these over in the resin. But, yeah. These go with that. And then I need to cut out some acetate, some heavy-duty acetate for them. Because they're just from the Dollar Tree. They're not anything special. I use a lot of things from the Dollar Tree because it's a good base. It may look kinky. It may, you know, not be designer decorating, but you know what? That's where we come in. As artists, we can make anything pretty. Well, not anything. Most things. All right, let me get a sip of coffee while I'm up. Give me a moment. Okay, thank you for your patience. Again, more acrylic pouring, and on wallpaper of all things. Oh, it's starting to rip right there. That's okay. We're going to put that in. This needs to get bound. And I put little pockets with the wallpaper in there. How cute. Oh, for cute. I'm going to put this in the elements bin. Same with these. And what do we got going on here? Oh, I was trying to get fancy. We have flip pockets and flip pockets. Let's, oh my gosh, this is really cute. Look at that bright, look at those bright colors. And then I am actually going to put this in the finish, the element, not in the elements bin. I'm going to put that in that because we're going to finish that one. This one is going to go in the elements bin. It got stuck to something and you can see it all got pulled up. So we're going to cover this with fabric or maybe some more paint. But that's going to be a whole other project. But this was a swipe. So what you do is you layer, you put paint down, you put your layer, different colors of paint, and then you put your same color that's in your background on top, and then you swipe through, and then you get these cool solid effects. But I didn't like the whole painting. I only like segments of it, so that's why it became an art piece. So we're going to put all of these. What do we got in here? Oh, yeah. See, this is really early days. This is probably 2021-ish. I'm going to put this in its own bin, and we're going to put this down here. Not bin, but folder. So this is me in my early stages of junk journaling. I was using boxing tape, but this is another acrylic pour. And a cover of a, whatchamabobber, composition book. And then I just left the inside white. I didn't do anything because I was going to put fabric on it or something. I didn't know what to do with it. I was just starting and I didn't have ideas. And, you know, when you're just starting, you're like, well, what do I do next now? Hey, yo, boo, boo. So this was going to be like a little, like, journaling per month thing, if I remember correctly. So this one needs more pages because we've learned better things now. And then this one, oh, this one's so pretty. So I took, you can still see the canvas here. I took the canvas and put it on one of the canvas boards. And didn't know what I wanted to do with it yet. I know exactly what I want to do with it now. I've got the perfect fabric for this. And I didn't have that. This was like literally, let's see, 2020 I moved to Illinois. By 2021, I had gotten burnt out of doing acrylic pours and stuff. So I started moving into junk journaling and building books and stuff with my acrylic pours. And it wasn't because of any one factor, it was just accumulation of shitty things. So we've got this one empty now. Actually, I might put those in there because they're kind of small. What do we got here? Actually, let's do that right now. Let's put these. So these ones we can finish this week for sure. We'll work on those as we finish up like the gluing bits of what we're working on. So that's going to go right there so I know where it's at. Again, look at this. I love this painting, but if I remember correctly, a bug landed on it and totally destroyed like the center right here, because there was another piece that went right here I think. Oh no, it was, yeah, it was a bug, and then it started doing this crackle thing. So, because my studio at the time was not climate controlled. So, yeah. So, I think I'll make this the front. And like I said, Artist Loft, canvas boards. Can you imagine what we could do with this? Oh, so cool. And then, see, here's one that hadn't been put on. These are ones that hadn't been put on boards yet. But I was going to, what does it say? Dollar store small. Okay, I was going to put these on a small board. What's in here? Nothing. Empty. Okay. So, I'm going to put this towards the back of this stack. And I will put these all together because the first part of October I'm taking off. I'm taking the 2 weeks off of, first 2 weeks of October off. When we come back, we're going to do daily evening live streams, except for we're going to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then maybe a Thursday morning live stream. So we'll be doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Thursday. So 4 live streams a week, where we can work together, ask questions, do whatever you need. You know, if you're working on a project, we can work together. You know, co-working is a great thing. I didn't really know what it was, but I knew that I needed it. And when I got it, kind of thing. So we'll take, and I'll show you how I do this. Not that it's hard, but I'll show you my tricks. And we will finish up these journals. So I need a bin to put all these in. So they sit right in front of me. Do I have a bin handy? Yes, because we'll take and we'll put them in this bin. Oh yeah. We'll put them on this side. See, I have pieces of plexiglass in here too. So I get these. This is 8x10 polycarbonate. I keep these because they're really handy for a lot of things, including, excuse me, putting paint on, and then it peels right off. Well, this didn't, but this usually peels right off, but it didn't, and I got frustrated, and so this one ended up in the bin, in this bin. So it goes to show when I get frustrated, that's what happens. Okay, so I'm going to lay those two there, and then we should be able to fit this whole pile, maybe. Let's not try and do them all at one time, Tish, because you will break your hand. There we go. This one's kind of small. I'll put this one towards the back. There we go. Now we have our bin that we're going to work out of. I want to finish up as many of these projects, and I have more. So, if you're afraid you're going to miss out on something, don't be afraid, because I got plenty. I'm going to kind of rearrange these a little bit, so maybe we can put these here. There we go. Actually, this needs to go here. There we go. There, now they'll stay nice, and we'll be able to pull out what we need for the ones that aren't finished yet, and it'll all be in one bin. And you know, we'll just go through the process together, and maybe we'll do one where we just paint on it, and we'll use a jelly plate or something. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. All I know is I want to create art, and I want to create it with you, and, you know, build a community. I have a Discord server. The link is down in the description if you're interested. We don't have a lot of people there right now. It's basically me, Mikey, and Tony, I think, is in there too. But we don't talk much. We don't do much. But if you go in there and you know, just say hi. If you don't know what Discord is, there's a ton of videos. I like it better than Facebook because there's no ads. You get to see every post, and I'm actually going to do a Discord video eventually. I've been talking about it for like 6 months now. But it's one of those things where it gets put on the back burner, and I need to bring it off the back burner. I don't even know if it's on the stove anymore, to be real. But I think I still have the script for it, and I think that's why I'm putting it off, is because I actually scripted it, and I don't like scripts. I like being real. I like being me, and all my loss of words and mixed up words and all that. So, you get what you get. We'll be live tomorrow and tomorrow night. Today is Monday. No, today is Tuesday. I can't remember. It's a day that ends in Y. Anywho, thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Remember, be kind to one another. Peace, love, and happiness.